Hello and welcome back for one final time to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2024 PDGA Junior World Championships presented by Innova Discs. This is the final 9 holes before we crown a MJ18 Junior World Champion, and we at Gatekeeper Media are very excited to bring you this coverage. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks-Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Doing really good, man. We have had a treat watching these young men play and compete against each other. And they've done it. They've made it to this final 9, the only 4 out of the whole field. And they earned it. They deserve it.
Yeah, congratulations to all our competitors. You're going to see the top 10 here. Only the top 4 players will be competing in these last 9 holes. And Ryan Monn has built himself a pretty sizable lead. Unless something goes completely wrong, this will be a nice little victory lap for him.
Yeah, these guys are essentially battling for second and third. But this is hole 1. This is a par 4, 550 feet tight tunnel out the gap. Get to that tight landing zone and then find your way around to this green here. A little bit of an elevated pin.
Currently at 51 under par, Ryan Monn.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it last round a little bit. This is maybe one of the most impressive junior world performances we've ever seen, at least that I've seen. He's just been so consistent every single round, laying down heater after heater. Bit of a misrelease here on hole 1, but he's going to be just fine.
Next on the tee from Bushnell, South Dakota, currently at 38 under par, Loren Buterbaugh.
Buterbaugh here. We saw that he had one of the hot rounds to get himself onto this lead card. See if he can keep riding that momentum.
Yeah, we also saw him in round 2 coverage. Struggled a bit on that lead card.
Next on the tee from Burlington, Kentucky, currently at 36 under par, Harrison Young.
Harrison Young in the past 3 rounds now. Very solid player. Throws the frisbee with a lot of pace. We'll see.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty much every shot too. He likes to
Finally
disc
on the
down.
tee
We've
from
noticed.
Rosedale, Indiana, currently at 36 under par, Josiah Beachy.
Josiah Beachy rounding out our final lead card of this World Championships. It's been a pleasure really watching these kids play all week. In case you didn't already notice, we're back at Post Oak Disc Golf Course for these final 9 holes. We will be playing holes 1 through 4, then 7 through 10, and then finishing off with hole 18. And and after that, we'll crown a junior world champion. Bit of some early struggles here on hole 1 for Monn. Can't quite but get back into position after that tee shot. If you can get up to this kind of corner, it's pretty straightforward pitch up from there, but this is a very tight tunnel that these guys are trying to access off the tee, so not the easiest shot to get back into position. That was a great scramble from Buterbaugh to do just that.
Yeah, here's a nice touchy shot from Beachy there, hitting a nice gap. Not getting all the way down, but he'll have an easy pitch up for his par. Harrison probably didn't have much besides that. Once you're over there, it's really tough to find your way back to the fairway.
Wow, this is a great shot with a step-out forehand for Ryan Monn. Actually goes past the basket. Going to leave himself with a pretty long comeback, or there's a slight slope behind the basket on this hole 1. So distance control and touch is important coming into this green. That was a very fortunate kick for Buterbaugh.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. If that misses the trees and just gets through, I don't know if he's inside the circle.
Yeah, so a great result there. He's going to be able to most likely save the par. Same thing for Young. Just a short pitch up for him. Yeah, hole 1 did play for, I mean, this is the only card we're seeing today, obviously, but the other 2 rounds we've seen this course did play as the hardest hole on the course for those 2 rounds. So we didn't see a lot of birdies on this one, and not surprising to just see some guys taking the stress-free par. Monn does have a little stress still left and does not connect on that long par save attempt. So he is going to drop a stroke here early, but a single bogey is not the worst score to take on this hole.
No, he just has to avoid the doubles and triples back to back. I mean, that's really all he has to do right now. And the rest of these guys, they gotta start pushing, right? Like, you gotta start running everything. You gotta try and get down these fairways. There's really no reason not to. You've secured at least 4th place right now, and don't hold anything back. Here we are at hole 2. This is a par 3, 290 feet. Just a little slight bend to the right. So forehand works, slow turning putter, backhand works as well.
Yep, Buterbaugh going to opt for the forehand. A bit wide, going to take that, try to go backdoor. Ends up working out for him. A little deep, actually, about 40 feet or so.
Yeah, that seemed a little bit of a faster disc. Maybe he just got on it a bit. But here is Young, most likely going with a mid-range or putter speed there. Does leak it left and catches a tree. Beachy doing the same.
This looks like more of the angle that you're looking for. And yeah, that checks up perfectly.
Yeah, you got to like go inside more than you think on the forehand. I would think you'd have to push this farther, but the basket is like dumped to the right.
These guys know this course well by this point and know what they need to do. That was a nice shot from Ryan Monn. He'll get that bounce back birdie here on hole 2. Just a pitch up for Young. And a long birdie look for Buterbaugh. It's just a bit off.
Yeah. Good run. Have a little bit of a comebacker there. Not too bad. Ryan able to take that stroke back he lost after the first hole. And here is Buterbaugh for his par look.
That's a good one to make. First tester putt of the day. Always good to knock that one down. Yeah, and we do really have a nice interesting battle for second place right now. These 3 guys all separated by just 2 strokes. So, and there are plenty of 2-stroke swing holes, especially down the stretch. So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. And a lot of these guys can throw far, they can crush, and that really comes into play on some of these holes. And this is definitely one of them. This is a hole 3, par 4, 450 feet. This is eagleable. We saw it eagled, and we saw eagle putts on it. And these guys definitely have the distance, and there's no reason for them not to go for it, I would assume, right now.
Yeah, you kind of don't really have a choice. I guess you could just throw a mid-range on this hole, but even with a fairway driver, this is downhill enough that I think all of these players could at least get a look with it. So that one fades out a bit early for Beachy. Checks up on the outside. He's still going to have a very doable up and down for his birdie.
Yeah, he should be fine. Yeah, this hole, it's like you said, slightly downhill the whole way. If you throw it down and give it a little hyzer, let it flip and ride the hill, you can push forward rather than dump out early left. That one did dump out just a bit early. Does catch that tree and will give him that downhill putt. And again, anything past that fire hydrant, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, we've seen a couple guys get eagle looks on this hole. Buterbaugh looks like a slower disc. I think that was just a mid-range, and that is a really bad kick.
Yeah, that was rough. So here's Young. He looks like he has a slower disc too.
But just because he has a slower disc doesn't mean he's also not trying to get the eagle.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Depending on how, much glide this thing has. And he does. He finds circle's edge with what looked like a mid-range.
Yeah, so this is going to be tough for Buterbaugh. Most likely not going to be able to even get a look. And now just going to be happy with trying to save a par. Still not out of the woods yet, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, yeah. And this is not a good hole to get yourself in the woods on. This played as one of the easier holes all week, and getting off the fairway is obviously not ideal.
Yeah,
a lot of these players are going to be able to take strokes on him easily.
Yep, good up for Beachy. That's going to be a nice easy birdie, and Buterbaugh has this long look, I believe, to try to save a par. Goes a bit long.
Yeah, wanted it, tough one to make there. Unfortunate bogey he's going to have to take. But here is Ryan for his eagle. Oh, man. And we have seen him drop plenty of those this week, and that one was 3 inches off.
Young has an eagle look as well, and he knocks it down.
Big time putt.
Definitely. That'll temporarily put him in second place. Beachy most likely going to join him. But Buterbaugh, tough bogey to take on the third. Still obviously in the mix. He started out with a little bit of a cushion on those other two guys, so we'll see what he's able to do. But obviously that one's not feeling good.
Good birdie there by Beachy, and him and Young will be tied for second right now. And Buterbaugh, again, only a stroke behind, like you said, so got to keep battling.
We're through 54 holes.
It is going to be an exciting championship Sunday.
Evelina with what might have been the single best drive in the division.
Evelina has been so good at throwing those direct lines.
2024 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Bushnell winner Evelina Salanen.
Hole 4, par 3, 410 feet. There's 2 different ways to play this hole. You can try and challenge these trees up the middle of, this more direct line, or we did see a lot of players go over the top. This is dependent on the wind, most likely. And we would assume that Young is going to launch this one in the sky.
Yeah, he doesn't even see these trees, probably. Just massive spike hyzer. Does it have the distance to clear? Not quite. We've seen a lot of players go for this up and over line. Yeah. That is a very common result, just kind of catching the late ones and dropping down early.
It is. And, Young has probably one of the farthest throws at this event. But I think that you need a little flex up there to get really over it. And look at this, chasing chains. That was so close to hitting metal. And he will have a look for his bird.
Yeah, that right there was the best shot we've seen all week on this hole from Beachy. Not even going over the top, just the straight at it line. And it worked out well for him. Monn going up and over. He's going to have a similar result to Young. Short right.
Yeah, where they got to, though, it's a pretty easy par. So, it doesn't put them in that bogey trouble. And this looks high.
It is favorable reaction to drop just straight down. So he will have an open approach. This is not the easiest up and down because it is, pretty significantly downhill. Tough to keep the disc there, but good touch on that one. Checks up.
Yeah, able to do it. I like being able to throw little nose up check shots, control that speed. And Monn had a putt into the green, and this is That's some bad luck right there. He can afford it, but
Yeah, bad luck maybe, but you can't land on a slope like this. You can't land your disc on that steep of a hyzer with that much speed. It's almost always going to roll. But he's got this comebacker now, and I mean, again, you've been saying it all week, Dan. If you can make your
oh
comebackers, you
man,
can do whatever you want on the greens. That was
yeah,
a very nicely thrown circle's edge putt to save his par.
yeah, it was very nice. If you told him his putter was going to roll, he'd just be like, "So, just make it." So
fair.
what? But here is Beachy after almost hitting some metal for his look back at the pin for a 2.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he gets it. I think that's the first birdie we've seen here on hole 4 all week, at least on coverage.
Yeah, it might be. It's a tough one. I think the first time we played this course, a couple of guys got over and had putts, but I don't know if they made. I think you're right. I don't know if they made them. Anyway, we got to see one now. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And that puts him in solo second with just 5 holes to go.
Hole 5, par 3, 300 feet, severely uphill. Have to play it right to left here. And that's what makes this hole tough, is accessing this green with this type of turn and how uphill it is.
Yeah, this is definitely playing close to 370, 380. These players, we've not seen a single player get all the way through and have a putt. This is a very common result. Guys get to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Get caught up.
It makes me think, like, if you took, like, Beachy kind of took an inside line there. I don't know if he meant to, but that kind of seems like one of the more effective ways to get there. And I'm pretty sure Harrison was trying that.
Yeah, catches one too. Worth mentioning, this is hole 5 of the final 9. Hole 7 on the normal course. The next 3 holes are going to be 7, or the next 4 holes, 3 holes? 4 holes are going to be 7 through 10.
Yeah, and Monn here, not needing to risk anything, takes the most open gap. He'll be able to just pitch up and get his par. Buterbaugh here, needing to grab a stroke. I'm sure he is hunting for this green. Get some height on it that we haven't seen before.
Oh, yeah. And gets the ground play. Nice little gallery up ahead, also worth mentioning. I think that's the MJ18 card up there. And also in a nice battle, good pitch up for Beachy. Young going to do the same.
Yeah, that'll do fine. So Monn just might run it just to run it, right?
I mean, he hasn't really laid much up. And yeah, gives that a really good bid.
Caught some metal there, I think.
And yeah, Buterbaugh with a great drive and knocks down the birdie.
Go.
That's a big one for him to get. That's another one. I don't know if we've seen anybody birdie this hole all week either. And that was a great drive.
So. It really
so
was.
Guys are turning it on late.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. Again, there's nothing to hold back. They're not trying to play safe. Like, just do what you can do. And sometimes that allows you to throw a little more carefree and, actually rip on some. So we do now have a tie for third, and Beachy is in second by 1 stroke. Hole 6 for this final 9. This is a par 3, 320 feet. Very specific shot shape, getting up this hill at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a very tight, to park it, you need a very tight flex line where you get a little drift to the right, finishes back to the left at the end. This forehand is the safer option to just kind of push through the gap and then maybe give yourself a circle 2 putt.
That is looking... Oh, man, I think I jinxed him there. That was looking good.
It was, I think, a little too straight, honestly.
Okay.
He's trying to get a little aggressive, right, and actually park the hole, but it doesn't really, the fairway doesn't shape for that straight shot. He needed that to just kind of fade out and take the long putt. This is a nice line from Beachy, but that is a very rude route. That'll
Yeah,
keep him short.
It's caught up. I'm sure that happens a lot. Probably a lot of putts from there, just outside the circle. So Young here, all the power in the world. Gets the height. Looks like he needs.
Oh, yeah, and the ground play. What a shot.
Yeah, fantastic. This is a hole where a lot can go wrong if you hit like midway down the fairway, kicking way left or way right, because you do have to throw this hard, which means harder kicks. But these guys are pretty much hitting the main fairway, which is great to see. And this is why they're here, just consistent all week.
Yeah, so some uphill circle 2 putts coming up. This one, Buterbaugh up first, has a window. Not a bad effort. Not a bad thing to not catch any metal there with the slope. It could easily roll back to you if this one hits the cage or the koozie. Monn has a window as well. Looks like he's probably going to give this a run.
Oh, stick. Catches that stick you're not even looking at.
Beachy, he's got a similar distance look, slightly closer. No.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's brutal.
Such a good putt.
Oh, and Monn leaving it a bit high there for his par putt.
Yeah, rare inside the circle miss for him. Does keep it to a bogey. Man, that was a rude reaction for Beachy to get. So Buterbaugh, gonna tap in his par. And Harrison Young is in a good spot.
Pretty parked. And you should be right there. Yeah, this is for a tie for second currently. There you have it. Still a tight race with only 3 left. Hole 7, par 4, 520 feet. This hole is relatively easy once you get out this gap. That's step number 1. OB on the left side, OB behind the basket in the long grass. Once you're out, it's a pretty open shot into this green, just a little distance control.
Yep, most players go with the forehand here to not bring that out of bounds into play. This is looking great from Young. Gonna get a finish. No ground play, but that's just fine. He's gonna have less than probably close to 200 feet from there.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you want. So Beachy going to opt for the backhand. This play can get you a lot of distance, but like you said, if it stalls out, you're looking at OB potentially.
Yeah, and this one is bringing that into play, and he is going to find it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any reason for it. Throw a slower speed and stay straight. Would be what I would do. But maybe he got close with the driver there. But it is what it is. Buterbaugh hitting a little high. This is a low ceiling as well, something to be wary of.
Oh, and this is a very well thrown forehand from Monn. Finds the right side. That's all inbounds. It'll just be a little annoying for him, but it'll work just fine. Buterbaugh actually not in a bad spot at all. Still has a wide open shot into the green. Distance control is the only thing you got to worry about here. Do not want to go long.
Yeah, and that's a good bailout zone there.
Yeah, just have to work around that bushy tree, but he'll be fine. Good bounce back birdie again for Monn. I'm telling you, I said it last round. I think his bounce back rate has been 100% all weekend. I still haven't confirmed it. It's just a gut feeling. But it's been
With
one
all
of the
those
reasons
birdies.
why he's done so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And wow, Young had like a 80-footer.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Eagle.
So here's Buterbaugh after hitting early, getting up and down for his bird. Well done.
Yeah, that's a big one to pick up. Gets him to 39. Beachy, this is a par tap in after going OB, so he's going to stay at 39. And then Harrison Young, a couple birdies in a row, jumping up to 40 under. Very good, great score after, almost 5.5 rounds of disc golf.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan Monn has been on a mission this week, and I don't think anybody was going to get in his way.
Hole 8, this is a par 3, 400 feet. Got to get it out here to this landing zone and around the corner. I think that might be a mistake. I think I remember this playing as a par 4.
Yep, it is.
A little longer. Okay.
It's a bit of a soft par 4, but
No
it is a par 4 nonetheless. This flex forehand is the play if you've got it, but this is underturned from Young, so he's going to get caught up early.
Yeah, I mean, potentially looking to get an eagle putt with that sort of play. I don't see any other reason to kind of do that.
Yeah, if you're going to try to get an eagle putt, this is the play. You got to go high flex forehand, so it kind of stalls out and goes right up that hill. Mm-hmm. Nice play from Buterbaugh. Didn't quite push it forward enough, but I think he got past the thick stuff.
Yeah, should have a deep look and easy bird at the least.
Good controlled shot from Monn. That'll just be a jump putt up into the green, most likely for him. And Beachy just content to play a nice smooth backhand, but this is a bit pulled. And that is not the place you want to be. Really pinches off the angle into the green.
No.
I think he might just have to pitch out. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I mean, with that type of shot, you'd rather go into the bushes left just to have an opportunity. Like I was talking about in the 5th round, is there's a good upshot there by Young, who most likely we missed his pitch out, but that's all right. These guys might be a little tired too, potentially.
Yeah. This is their second round of the day, same day as they played the semifinal, just later that afternoon on Saturday. So it's been a long week, a lot of disc golf. Good upshot for Monn. He'll have a nice tap in birdie.
And here's Buterbaugh for his eagle.
Yeah. Let's see if he can give it a little bit of a run. Had the height.
Yeah. Got to respect the attempt. Should give him an easy look at his bird here. And he's able to pick up a stroke on both Young and Beachy after their errant drives.
Yeah, it's going to make things interesting on the final island hole for hole 18, playing as hole 9 today, to decide who's gonna come away with second place.
Couple of tap-ins here. Monn with a birdie. Harrison tapping in his par. And here we are, folks. The last hole of this marathon event. So this is hole 9. 220 feet par 3 island. Love to see it. Love to end on the island hole. Got to stick it.
Yeah, it's that simple. See most players go with this, just spiking forehand. Helps control the distance. Buterbaugh is going to opt for that. This looks like a good line if it checks up. He gets the green flag.
Very nice. Puts the pressure on both Harrison and Beachy as well.
Monn, this looks a little early and unfortunately finds the water.
Oh, man.
He's going to be just fine.
There's no chance for a bounce back, though. He's got to make his par putt.
It's true. That is a good point, Dan.
So Young here, him and Buterbaugh are tied at 40 right now. He needs to stick this to have an opportunity. He almost aces.
Wow, that would have been a great way to end your tournament.
Unreal, yeah. So Beachy, he is a stroke back, and those guys are pretty close. There's no reason not to try and ace this hole right now. Can't get any worse than fourth. Good
Not
attempt.
a bad effort.
Yep. And well done by him.
Yep, just a layup for Ryan Monn, and why not? Has built himself a very sizable cushion throughout the week. Good tournament for Loren Buterbaugh, dropping in his birdie. Will most likely end in a tie for second with Harrison Young. A great performance from Josiah Beachy as well, going to grab a solo fourth place finish.
Here's Young to tie at second.
Ooh, a little nervy, but he does knock it down.
Absolutely.
But this week was all about this man right here, Ryan Monn. A commanding victory at the Junior World Championships, takes down his second major title of 2024.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the MJ18 World Champion, crowned here at the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships presented by Innova, Ryan Monn.
Very cool. Congratulations to Ryan.
Yeah, look at the Monn family taking it all in. You love to see it.
So cool.
Congrats to Ryan. Congrats to all of our competitors and our newly crowned world champions this week. Junior Worlds is such a cool event every year, and we were really happy to be able to bring you this coverage. Taking a look at our top 10, rounding things out. What a week, Dan.
Yeah, man, it was fun watching these young men play, seeing the skills, seeing the talent that is coming up. Everybody better watch out.
Yeah, the future of our sport is bright. For Dan Brooks Wells, I'm Nathan Johnson. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.